Recording.
Okay.
Okay, kami muna. Tapos we're gonna introduce.
Meron kaming corny intro, pero let's go, let's go.
Hindi naman siya corny.
Let's go.
And 1, 2, 3. Alright, this is the Sawsawan Podcast with the powerful komiksman, Gerald Dorado and
Chris Bacola Podcast.
Sawsawan Podcast nagbabalik.
Muling nagbabalik.
Tawag dito, hating gabi kasama ang isang napaka-espesyal na bisita. Panauhin.
Pero 3 p.m. Gerald, 3 p.m. habit.
3 p.m. habit. Meron kaming news. We're gonna be opening subscriptions for the podcast for this channel sa YouTube. To those who are listening on Spotify, you can also subscribe to us. Ano magtawag doon? Basta become a member. Pero right now wala pang perks. Hindi ko pa naiisip kung ano yung mga perks na gagawin namin. It's just for you to support if you feel like it. Okay? Okay lang naman kahit hindi.
Tama.
Okay? So that's something to look forward to. Chris Bacola, kamusta ka naman?
I'm good, doing good, and like what you've said, Jet, today, this 3 p.m. meron tayong panauhin.
Yes. And we've been planning this for quite a while. Kasi medyo naging busy tayo parehas. Medyo nabulabog naman ang ating mga schedule. Sa work. At ako naman, at saka nagkasakit ako na inuubo pabalik-balik yung ubo ko.
Ako, I'm very thrilled to have this guy here with us kasi kasama ko siya way back nung nag-stand-up comedy pa ako live.
Ikaw na magpakilala sa kanya, Chris
Bacola. Sa mga performers at mga galing na mga musikerong kilala ko sa scene. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tino Valentino.
Tino Valentino.
Gusto kong sabihin, salamat sa pag-invite sa akin dito sa show.
Ay, pero cheers muna, everybody. Cheers.
Trip kayong tool for vibes. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
My man, thank you.
Medyo, pagpahinga muna natin ng mga kontrobersiya na bukin ng nila.
Mga buwisit ng mga social media followers.
Sample natin sila.
Actually, let's go back to, kasi yung mga controversies na yan, yung mga YouTube drama, hindi talaga namin mundo yan. Kumbaga, pero sometimes we get entangled with these kinds of bullshit. Diba? Kasi nasa YouTube kayo. Diba? Hindi may iwasan yan minsan. Pero just because we get entangled in these things once in a while doesn't mean we're gonna stay there in that filth. Yeah. We have our own shit and we are trying to create this new space na parang we're not trying to educate anyone here. We're just talking and just letting you guys in. Okay? That's all we're doing here. Okay? Yeah. So let's get the party starting.
And also, we love music. And si Tones has been in the music industry for how many years now?
For more than a decade siguro.
Damn. Yes. So, kailan ka nagsimula?
With Cosmic Love, like siguro more than... we started in 2003. But then, way before that, I was always singing in bands.
So you're a vocalist?
Yeah.
Vocalist, a songwriter din?
And just... during the pandemic, started producing my own stuff. But I wouldn't call myself a producer. But I still, I kind of bedroom produce my own music also.
Are you in a band right now? Or?
Right now,
solo.
Solo. It's a solo project thing. That the band backing me up are some of my old members in my old band Tukarsinati with Med. I don't know if you know that hip hop.
DJ Med.
Med.
Moro Beats.
Yeah, Moro Beats. Shout out,
Grabe si Moro Beats ngayon, ha?
Yeah, he's
scene.
now friends with
Jokoy
and them.
Grabe,
And more power to Moro Beats.
Siya ba yung nasa special ni Jokoy?
I love him. Yeah.
Siya, okay.
Yes, DJ Med.
And he's an OG, man. He's been making music in the hip hop scene for as long as I can remember. Like.
Grabe na, so parang more inclined ka sa hip-hop, sa rap. I mean, yung funk.
Well, I like rock and roll, and I was always a rocker. I'd say I'm a rocker more. But then I was always a fan of Michael Jackson, like when I was a kid. So, like hip-hop to me was just like natural. It was always just I've always liked rap, like, and I was always into just, I wouldn't think about the genres. Like, it's just, like, this is cool because this is like jazz. This is, you could kind of like bust a rhyme over this. And like, if you figure it out, like that, really hip hop beats are just funk breaks.
Yeah.
They're breaks. They're break beats that are sampled. And that's just really the amen break, or like the, their main break beats that are just like slow down, or like, or even not just hip hop. I'm into drum and bass, like, drum and bass, jungle, that came from just the funky drummer, the funk drum break.
Actually, yung beat natin sa intro natin is funk, di ba?
It's on the one.
Actually, when Chris was introducing you to me when we were talking, sabi niya, kala ko talaga rockista, kumbaga solid rocker ka kasi he told me that you were
friends,
parang friends, and
Karl Roy,
protege ka daw ni Karl Roy. So, do you have any stories you can share about?
It was Karl Roy's birthday yesterday, so I'd like to say happy birthday, old
Happy
friend.
birthday, Karl!
I love you.
Happy birthday, Karl.
Cheers! Itaas
And
natin
it's
kay
also, I just we're in the talking about birthdays. I think it was Wella's birthday not too long ago.
Happy
Maybe
birthday.
yesterday. Happy birthday. And also happy birthday to Bong Louie, yung kabanda ko. I don't know. If you'd be hearing this siguro, I don't know when they'll put it up, but happy birthday. Today is your birthday.
Also, magbe-birthday na rin ng ating Chris Bacol soon.
Sa June 4.
Oh, di ba?
My man. So, wait, you're a Pisces?
Gemini.
Gemini. So, yung sinabi ni Chris, totoo ba yun?
Well, medyo exaggerate ko lang yon para
Exaggerate.
ma-hype natin
No, I wouldn't say protege, pero like, I was a fan of Karl Roy, of course. Like, I grew
Mentor.
up-
More of like a friend, no? Barkada, kuya.
More like kabanda niya, yung we were like tightly, we looked up, I mean, Kapatid was like the blueprint for my band. Like, if you think about it, the first Kapatid. Then we became friends with the people from Kapatid. Nate became my bandmate. Nathan Nasarcon. Became my bandmate in National Threat or whatever. Anjo, who became the guitar player of Kapatid for the second album when Chico passed away, became part of my band. So there was always a symbiotic relationship between Cosmic Love and Kapatid. And, so Karl was always... And one of my best friends, si Andy, shout out Andy Tonda, who's in Spain right now. She's a DJ. Her prom date was Karl Roy and a good friend of ours also, si I am, prom date niya si Chico, who passed away. And
Prom date?
Prom date.
High school,
they were
high
school.
High school days.
So, high school din si Karl Roy nito?
Hindi.
Hindi na.
I mean, Karl was like, but Karl was always, I don't know, like, I miss him. Like, he just get away with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, he'd be like, just tuned into like headphones that weren't really plugged into anything. It was just to keep people from talking to him. You know what I mean?
Really?
He'd be the most, but then before he died, it's almost like he took the time to kind of like say goodbye. We weren't particularly close. I wouldn't say we were close, but then si Karl, he slept in my house before he died, like a week before he died. And that's when I really kind of got to know him as just Karl. We go swimming. This was the time, he already had a stroke. So we'd be talking about just like bullshit things, like like this band's cool. Like we'd play like in Guilty Pleasure songs. Like I'd play him like Space Hug, Space Hug.
Sound tripping lang.
Whatever. Like
Sound
I kind of
tripping.
dig this band. He's like, whoa, I finally played again. Like I remember this band. Like, and then so that's a memory that I kind of cherish. Like we talk about like the kind of like influences that we kind of don't want to make people know, but then because I'd ask them like, POT, as a fan of POT, like did you guys kind of ripped off Keziah Jones? Because like I'm a fan of Keziah Jones, and you could hear like Million Miles from Home. That's exactly like Ulitin. I mean, not that I'm saying they ripped it off, but like
Medyo. Pero influence.
yeah.
Well, actually, madaming ganun. Madaming,
Even sa hip-hop scene, actually,
even
dami.
Eraserheads,
Yeah,
parang
sampling.
behind the, kumbaga, yung mga friends nila, they tell the influences that they.
Yeah.
The
But
songs,
sometimes,
diba?
like I admit, like there are times that you kind of don't wanna tell people that, diba?
Oh.
Whatever.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
you know, as a fan, like
Ako nga, si Dave Chappelle, nire-rip off ko sa stand-up comedy set ko. Alam mo.
I mean, I believe like no one, unless you're God or something, like no one's like truly 100% authentic.
Yeah.
You're always kind of like
influenced by something.
yeah,
Well,
kind of like get inspired by something. Whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Tama,
it's
Make it your
kumbaga,
own. Diba? You make it your own.
It's we're just echoing
Yeah,
the past
exactly.
voices using our own voices
Yeah, yeah.
now. Diba pa? Pero kumbaga
Or like if we're talking about music, like if we're talking about rock or bands in general, like all the kind of like notes and stuff, all the kind of like styles came from the Beatles songwriting. You know what I mean? I mean not all.
And
of
even
them,
if you
not
ask the
most of them.
Beatles, yung kanilang style came
Yeah,
from something way back, di ba?
Yeah, yeah.
Even the podcast, di ba?
Came from the
wow, mga blues,
Yeah.
diba? It's
Skip-
blues and jazz actually talaga.
Tama.
skiffle music or whatever like they used to call it, but it all came from black music, you know.
Pero ang problema ng Pinoy kasi bro, hindi natin kayang gawin parang Japan eh. Na kunwari may Japan hip-hop, talagang Japan hip-hop siya eh.
Yeah.
Or Japan
And
funk, rock.
One thing
We're only learning
speaking of
that
Japanese
right now.
culture, like they'll take something and be so into it, and they take it and make it their own and make it even better. Like, like blue jeans, that's like totally American. They love it so much. They have the best jeans
In
like
the world.
denim or something, because they
Sobrang
took
mahal.
something that was Americana and they improved on it and made it better and gave it a little their own taste, you know, Japanese kind of style. Or sneaker culture, diba? That came from hip hop. It came from
Bapesta.
yeah,
Bapesta.
diba? Like I mean, or like Atmos or something. They're the first to ever make kind of like the safari colorway for like an Air Max or something. I mean,
Ay, yeah.
yeah.
Merong diba? Parang may kaso pa nga yun eh. Yung basta may nag-rip off ng Air Max.
Oo. Huwag na nga lang tayo lumayo, dude eh. Yung Abading Ape, kung nakita mo yung Abading
Yeah,
Ape,
Nigo.
ni-rip off nila yung si Je. Hindi na nakapagpigil si Je.
Inubo ko eh.
Inubo si Je. Ayan. Kasi lately, medyo puyat si Je.
Oh, really?
Overwork. Kasi siya, illustrator.
Oh, shit. Sa
Freelance.
comics.
Comics.
Man.
Kaya siya comicsman.
So, siya nag-drawing yan.
Oh, ito. Siya gumawa ng graphics. Siya lahat. Pati editing.
Wow.
Ginagawa ko nito magsalita. Magsalita lang.
And then, it's turning around.
Oh, nag-revolution siya.
It's like, it looks like even like a record, you know?
O, para siyang vinyl.
Oh.
Actually, but kumbaga,
Para siyang plaka.
Para siyang
Some
plaka.
vinyl record.
Nauso ang mga vinyl records noong 2020.
laminate ba yun?
it makes kumbaga kasi this is actually this is parang design feature yan. Kasi this is basically dead space.
I love
Diba?
it.
So, you put something there, you make it move. It's not dead space anymore.
I dig it.
Ano ba nangyayari sa'yo, Je? Okay ka lang ba?
Parang nasa mid ako eh.
Kailangan mo ng...
Alam mo, Tino, speaking of music, dumaan ko tayo sa healthy lifestyle mo. Kasi yun ang pinupush ko kay Je.
Yeah.
Kasi lately, nakikita kita na lumalakas ka mag-bike.
Yeah. Well, it all started because of the pandemic. And I think a lot of people then, they got into, you know how it's such a boom, like cycling and all that. And even coffee shops that are linked to cycling. And most of the people are not far from me that kind of really took it seriously just during the pandemic, lockdown. And I just started to get into it for myself, you know what I mean? Just like, I always had the fixie, I always had a bike, but I never really did the mileage I did, like back in the day. I used to think I was biking far. We used to have a Saturday radio show in Ortigas, so I'd bike to the Strata building.
Jam 88.3.
From Makati, and I'd think that was
From
far.
Makati?
It's totally not far. That's like 16 kilometers
Mismo.
from Makati. So I'm like, I didn't do any mileage, really. But like during the time, I thought, you know. But during lockdown, you can do anything. You can even I couldn't see my family for Christmas and stuff like that. The first time living alone, you know, it was just a combination of all of that. So biking was really the only freedom I had. So the first time I went to Tagaytay on a fixie, you know what I mean?
On your own, on
Yeah,
your
my
own.
So
Damn! Lakas ah.
Ay,
Uphill.
may problema si Chris Bacala sa mga nagbabay. Sabi ko.
actually, it could like I used to also like, but then now it makes me a better driver. Like, pero maraming mga kamote dyan. I get it. Pero like that's why. But like, yeah, why? Like, yung the...
Hindi. Mas deeper yung hindi kasi pag prolong yung seating dun sa bike seat, parang nakakaano siya eh.
Okay,
Dun
yeah,
sa
yeah.
Prostate.
veins ng ng...
That's why you're supposed to get a saddle with a channel. Yung,
Oo,
supposed to be-
tama.
And also, there's certain... Sometimes like,
And you have to stand every now and
there's
then.
a fore and aft and the tilt of the saddle is important. Like, I never used to think about all of that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
actually there's a lot of
Pag-usapan natin yan.
sobrang intricate ng pagbabike.
Yeah,
Parang you think
a bike
you just,
fit is like really important because none of us, if you think about it, like they say like, may mga kind of like the dumb way to bike fit, like you just over the top tube of the bike, which is the pole on the top.
Oo.
If kind of like put your arm around it, and if your hand touches the pedal, parang that's
the perfect bike for you.
that's the length or something. Pero like it's really more than that because everybody has different size feet. The incremental, is that the word? Incremental kind of change.
let's just explain what we're talking about. Parang yung bike fitting, there's a science to it.
Yeah.
I have a friend sa San Pablo.
Laguna ka ba?
No, Laguna. Sa San Pablo, meron siyang bike shop.
Yeah.
Okay, so pumunta pa siya ng US para
yeah.
kung paano mag-proper
Bike
Bike
fit.
fit, yeah.
Bike fit.
Parang
oo.
you think it's so...
It's
what
a
the
science,
fuck?
and
Diba?
not all bike fitters do the same thing. Like some people are more on like they take sensors of your
Yeah.
body and stuff,
Oo,
and
tama.
all use kind of like data from that. Some people are more kind of like hands-on, kind of like I don't know. It's really different. It's more like
Tama.
it's an art.
Kasi when I used to bike, parang I just adjust
Yeah,
yung
yeah.
bike mo.
Yung
Kung
seat.
Pag komportable ka
Oo.
na, di ba? Pero there's really a science to it na talagang
And you'll
if you
only
want to
notice the
optimize
changes like
performance.
of like why my hands hurt here. And I never understood why. Like I'd go from a long ride, like above 80 kilometers, like maybe 100-kilometer ride or something.
Damn.
And then I'd find this, it hurts here. And then a friend of mine who's, shout out to Iñaki Goitia, he founded, he lives in Spain, one of the most beautiful places to bike. That's where they have the Col de, I don't even know what mountain they call it, but that's where the Vuelta España, that's the equivalent to the Tour de France of Spain. That's where they have the races and stuff. It's
Tama.
a beautiful place to ride bikes. He started this thing called forgive me, it's called, I don't know, but he started a bike fitting business, and so he's like, I can't give you I can't assess like what's wrong, like I have to see you riding. But then he just said like, but I it's like more likely it's like your saddle's kind of like tilted a little bit down. And apparently he was right, like because that's why I was resting on my palm here.
Talaga?
There's stuff like that. Yeah.
Ganun pa. Yung minor detail na yan can
Yeah.
do so much, no?
Yeah. Or like just incremental changes, like like that's why I don't know. Sorry to get you guys sleeping on like
No.
a
It's
boring topic,
it's,
but like
yan yung kailangan natin malaman eh.
like Eddie Merckx, one of the he's the GOAT of bicycle racing, like of cycling. He would spend so much time just adjusting his saddle height and forward and fore and aft, you call it, the forward and backward placement of your saddle.
Kailangan ba may shock yon yung bike seat?
You can. I mean, like especially now they have a lot of in the advent of gravel bikes and stuff, they have a lot of bikes with dropper posts. That's more on like mountain bikes, but then you can have a shock on your bike seat. But
Kasi ang pinaka-fear ko dyan sa prolonged biking is yung yung erectile dysfunction. Kasi pag matagal ka nakaupo sa bike seat, magkakaroon ka ng yung mga veins, yung mga ugat dun sa may testicular area mo.
sa ball sack mo.
Sa ball sack mo. Kaya yung blood flow, baka hindi makadaloy na maigit.
Baka hindi makadala
Hindi
na
matigas
maigi.
yung erection. And bilang
can lead to,
rockstar
men's
myself,
sterility.
bilang rockstar myself, baka maka-apekto yun sa image.
Hindi, kailangan lang ng bike na may, like, a saddle na may, there's specific saddles, like dati.
Yan.
And not,
Sabi ko sa iyo.
you know, like, there used to be like, what is a women's saddle and a men's
Men's
saddle?
saddle.
Like, no, I mean, there really is like
There is.
a specific saddle with a channel in the middle, like for your balls, diba? Or whatever. Or like,
Tama.
I think it's like a saddle with like it's like a blunted in the front. I guess that's for like a woman's saddle. I really don't know the difference, and I'm about gender equality, so don't bash on my.
Pero
shit.
compared to before na hindi ka pa into biking, like kung mga gigs lang and
Yeah.
drinking, mas better ba yung quality of life?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, like people don't really understand. Like people come up to me, they're like, "Tumutodo ka na naman," because like they see me so thin and so dark, you know what I mean? And yeah, and I won't lie. Like I used to be really hardcore, just on shabu. You know, I was a drug addict. You know, and
Okay.
and I'd say I'm still battling that shit, you know, every day. You know, I always think about it sometimes. But like, it's cool that cycling and that don't get along. They don't work together. Because like, breathing in your heart. I wear a watch with it died, but it's a heart monitor.
Monitor.
You know? It's I don't want to geek out on like the geeky side of like getting into riding bikes, but like really, I never looked at those metrics and stuff as something important, but it was just for me, you know, just for me to kind of gauge where I'm at, you know.
Ito yung bike saddle, Chris. Yan.
Yan.
Di ba?
Yeah, that's a woman-specific saddle, the one or for.
Ito yung may para sa yag balls mo.
Yeah.
Ano yung woman-specific saddle dyan? Yan? Yung...
I think
I think that one, but that
This
could
one?
also be a triathlon saddle, because I think the understanding behind that is, I think, so that they can mount the bike faster. I think they can just swing over. I think.
Yan.
Pag ganyan, pwede kang saksakin sa bayag, sa ilalim. Diba?
Pero yung Jay, na-improve ni Anton yung kanyang physical...
Yeah, definitely. Like I used to drink a lot, you know, like and I rarely drink now. But since food, and I used to like, when I met you, I was like overweight.
Oh, no.
Out of shape.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Really?
Chubby yan si
Yeah.
Anton.
And so there was a time I was super thin because I was on shit, you know. But there's a difference, and people should know the difference. Like, but now, kasi like one thing cool about riding bikes is like I was just living. I realized like when the time that I met you, like 4 years ago, I was just living what you call that, sedentary life. Is that what you call it? Like I was just not really doing anything to. I was just eating a lot of stuff that I should be eating and stuff, and just. I'd say I'd go ride my skateboard or whatever, but I wouldn't really, you know what I mean? So I didn't really have I didn't burn the calories. But one thing with biking is like sometimes you can't eat enough to burn it. If you just cycle every day, you could eat as much as you want, as much carbs as you want. You have to, because it's fuel.
Oo nga.
And then it'll burn it into, you know, to fuel the bike. It's really like it's really fascinating. I was so not into health and all that, you know. And I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm into it, but like I'm more, because I understand about myself physically now, that because I appreciate more because I got into bikes.
Yes.
It's really,
And it helps you think, di ba? While
Yeah.
you're on the road,
Yeah.
doing a long ride,
yeah.
tapos nakikita mo yung view,
Yeah,
parang,
exactly.
shit, I never thought about that idea.
And people say this, like Einstein, he's quoted to say, like, you know, get a bike because you won't regret it. It's like something to. You could if you're ever stuck, if you feel like you're confused or something with something in your life, or just even songwriting, like you feel like you're stuck, I'll take a break. And if you come even from a 30-minute bike ride, you'll never really come home more confused than you were, when you took a ride. You could think about so many things, or you could just not think about anything at all. It's like really just a freeing thing. And I'm really glad I have it in my life. Because it's something I could just do, for free.
Ito, Ton. Explain to Chris why you would go out on 100-kilometer bike ride. Ano yung, di ba? Why is it worth
there's so
it?
many things. It's like, like at first, like the first century ride or something, it's like something to test yourself. It's also a mental thing. Like if you're with friends, I started just biking by myself. So it's so easy to just throw in the towel. No one will ever see it. No one ever even knew I was on this ride. You know what I mean? When you're with friends, it's another thing. It's like, I don't want to be like holding the group. You know what I mean? Kind of like, But, and we just came back from the Sierra Madre loop. We did the loop of Sierra Madre. Like, that's like a lot of climbs and stuff.
Duman ba kayo ng Nagcarlan?
Yeah, I think so. Like
Nagcarlan,
Rizal, Antipolo, and then you come back, Teresa, I think that Taytay.
Kasi yung sinasabi ko kay Je kanina, kasi ito si Je, lately, nagiging stuck sa social media eh. Araw-araw na parang he's just on his phone.
Recovering.
Or
actually, nagre-recover na ako.
Sinasabi ko sa kanya, why don't you just go to the gym? Yung mga time na naisip mo mag-live stream or maglaro ng chess. Pumunta ka sa gym, mag-treadmill ka. Kasi dude, kanina, ito pinilit ako ng isang coach ko na kasama sa gym. Kasi I work in the gym now eh.
Yeah, really?
Oh, coach,
Nice.
as a coach. Pinilit niya ako
You've always been like into fitness and stuff?
Yes, and now
That's so cool.
just got real.
Ano ba yun? Like,
Pinilit niya ako mag 1 hour run sa treadmill. Nung una ayoko eh. Ayoko mag 1 hour run. Sabi ko, hindi ko na ginagawa. 20 minutes siguro, pero 1 hour. So nag 1 hour kami sa treadmill. Hindi ako naka-proper running gear.
Yeah.
Naka-cotton ako na shirt and cotton shorts.
Yeah.
Pero ginawa ko pa rin. And
That's fascinating to me because like I know the cadence I have to be on like a bike on an hour, like but then running for me, like that's like high
impact.
High impact,
sa joints.
That's why a lot of marathon runners they switch to biking after a while. But then I've always anything what you call that anaerobic workout is good. You know what I mean? And I've never be
and
a
may high siya.
spokesperson. Yeah.
Meron siyang high and like biking
Exactly.
and running. May high siya after eh.
So-
yung prolonged.
And way after you're done. Sometimes like I'd be super tired, but you can't sleep because you're stoked. But it's not really just you're stoked. Your body hurts, but then it's like the endorphins, like the dopamine,
And then may something about motivation. Like yung time doon nagsabi ka na hindi ka pupunta. Nakahiga ako nung kasi fuck that run. 1 hour yun. Tapos ako, hindi Je, tuloy natin yung podcast. Game ako ngayon. Alam mo, parang na-hype ka eh. Na-hype ka nung exercise na yun.
Exactly. And what's cool about it is like that's cool. Like you're a coach. That's super cool. Like gym coach.
Coach Jun.
Coach
Jun.
Coach
Coach
na
Kapalar.
parang kanina realization kasi coach ako sa gym, pero parang na-school ako nung isang coach na yun na mag 1 hour run sa treadmill.
But you know what it is? So it's really breathing through your nose, diba? That's really it.
And calming yourself down.
Yeah, calming yourself down.
Kasi isang
'Cause
oras yun eh.
it's really your heart rate then. Like sometimes that's why people, just to dispel the rumors that I'm like totally sprat. I'm not gonna lie, there's sometimes that I slip and I do it, but then, man, like you can get a heart attack if you're always just
Yes.
on drugs. So this is clean living, my man.
So,
I mean, as far as it can go. Better than before, definitely.
let's talk about that. So, since when did you, how long have you been sober?
I don't want to go there, but
Yeah, if it's okay with you lang, but if you don't,
I wouldn't.
you'd rather not.
Because
Ang hirap kasi.
I can't say I've been sober for this.
Oh.
I see.
I mean, like, yeah, okay, I slipped.
Every now and then.
Let's not go there.
Hindi, kahit ako parang
I don't
just
wanna-
because na
no comment.
kasi parang may stigma sa drugs Parang kunwari ito yung drug na ginagamit mo. Ay, cool yan kasi in ngayon yan Pero pag ito yung drug na ginagamit, ay, yuck. Kasi ano yan hardcore. Pero still,
Yeah.
substance pa rin siya And anything na abused, kahit exercise pa yan, can be detrimental dun sa tao.
Yeah.
Kasi may
Anything,
mga taong lagi na sa gym parang hindi na sila nagpapahinga. So
social
overtraining.
media, TikTok, even hamburgers,
Pero,
food, di ba?
when you
Everything that you consume na
When
madami.
Yeah.
When you started using yung substance, ano yung benefit na nakuha mo sa kanya?
Looking back, wala. Like, I mean, there was a time I defended. I'd say like,
Socialization
gotta
lang.
write a lot, you know. But if
But
you think about it, it really hindered a lot of shit, you know, like in me. Like now replacing that high with it's sport or whatever you call that, the kind of like the high of
exercise.
the exercise, exactly. So I'm not gonna be the guy that's saying like, you know, get fit or whatever.
Hindi kami yun.
Do you think kaya mong kaya ng isang tao na mag-shabu at mag-bike ng mga
Definitely. And
20
Man.
100 kilometers? Kaya ba?
that's what doping and cycling has always been together. It's always had
Si
a,
Lance Armstrong.
Pero sa
yeah,
myth yun,
but that's EPO. That's like in recent years. But like in the olden days, like Tom Simpson, he was on amphetamines, like climbing the Von 2. Like, it's one of the hardest.
Tama,
And
tama.
he did die because of that. He got a heart attack.
Oo. Yun lang pangat yung even sa bodybuilding, dude, yung mga...
Yeah, or they take blood, you know,
Oo.
they make the blood really thick. So there was times like you hear stories about pro cyclists not being able to, they have to like really just get on the bike to get the because it was so thick. Like, it's really complicated. Like I don't even think we have that here. So wala siguro.
Kasi kung gagawin mo lang yun,
even a Red Bull could kill you really on the bike sometimes.
Kasi ako bilang parang kunwari kung in ka na dun sa exercise, gusto mo i-test yung sarili mo na wala kang gamit, kahit wala kang Gatorade.
Exercise ba? Exercise.
Di ba, parang gusto mo i-test yung sarili mo kung kaya mo without anything
Yeah.
Actually, kaya ako tinatanong is kasi you can be addicted. Of course, you can be addicted to drugs. And then you can also be addicted to exercise.
Or you can
biking.
replace it with...
Wait. So, ngayon, I'm wondering if kasi you can replace one addiction with another diba?
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering kung pwede mong pagsabayin yung dalawang addiction na yun.
You can, but it's really it kind of like cancels out each other. Like, you know, like it's since you're like riding a lot, if I were to be super sprat, it wouldn't be good because it'll get my heart rate up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff. And as I was saying, like I wouldn't. So sorry to be a geek about it, but like I only got into it because of the pandemic and stuff. But like you know, geeking out onto like you hear stories about how people could just relax their heart rate and stuff like that. So that's how it started, and just like monitoring my like I have a bike computer and then the cadence sensor but it's more mas important yung heart rate monitor or something, like just to know like during maximum effort, like if how high it's
Saka doon sa sinabi mo, bro, yung pagsabayin yung dalawang yung exercise saka shabu. Of course you can, pero kaya ka nga gumawa ng isa pang routine kasi gusto mong iwasan siya. Like ako nung nag-yossi ako dati, tas na-discover ko yung running. Tas nahihinder nung pag-yossi ko yung running. Tinigil ko yung yossi.
Diba?
Tinigil ko yung yossi.
That's exactly my point. Kasi parang my point is you can replace one addiction with another. Parang something that would be more beneficial to you. Diba?
And you would see the other will hinder yung isa na pinili mo.
Yun nga. Kaya ka natanong ko. Kasi hindi ako naging addict talaga sa meth. So, pero I also tried biking a little bit. And I'm wondering, hindi ko napagsabayan. Diba? So, can you, kasi kung let's say magmamarihuana ka, malabong makapag-bike ka ng malayo eh. Kasi downer yun eh, di ba?
But I think like weed, like, I mean
Not to incriminate myself.
but like, I'm saying weed's all right. Like people use, this is something else, but like CBD and stuff, that's like good for, yeah, but like, okay, I could be stoned and like ride a bike. It's cool, on weed.
Yep.
But like on shit, like
On meth.
yeah, it's like it's not advisable to do kasi especially if you don't sleep, diba? If you're on shit, you don't
diba?
sleep. So
Masosobrahan.
Kaya ako
ka,
tinatanong
diba?
kasi kung anong purpose ng paggamit mo ng meth kasi others use meth to enhance yung working capacity eh. So parang may mga ibang chuper, prostitute, ginagamit yung
Yeah.
meth para makapag-perform dun
Methamphetamines.
sa job nila. Like, ikaw ba dyan, nung trinay mo yung meth, parang recreational ba siya or ano lang?
So, ang sarap magsalita sa radyo. Parang
Actually,
ganun,
hindi ko masyadong naramdaman.
Parang
parang energetic ka ng
hindi ko naramdaman
konti.
talaga eh. I tried it maybe 3 times in my life. Pero
Yeah.
hindi ko talaga naramdaman.
just
kasi,
like when I was in high school, like
kasi
didn't
lasing
say I
ako
could
eh.
feel it.
Kasi lasing na ako eh.
Then
Parang,
I got into it in a weird situation because my half brother, who shout out Richie Saldana, like we knew each other. We had a huge age gap. We just got along because of weed and cars. Like when I was a kid, I was 16 years old. Like had my first like Honda City or something, and then he was like, we're setting up cars. That's all we had in common, in weed. So I'd be so anti shit, I tried it already during this time, but then one time, like we'd be rolling a J, driving around the village, stuff like that, because I was just a student, I only had student license. And then he'd go, I'll just toot, okay? And then I go like, tangina, mahuli pa tayo dyan. Kung mahuli tayo with shit, squawks niyan, diba, or whatever. But then, after a while, like, he'd do it all the time. He'd bust it out, a tube pipe. It was like, just like, sneaky pipe na. So I'd say, I go like, sige, patry nga yan. Then, in his mind, he thought I've been, when I tried it, I was already an addict, you know what I mean? So he's like, hindi kita bibitin. I never forget what he said. Like, hindi kita bibitin. I didn't even know these words, beaten.
Hindi kita bibitinin, no?
So he's like,
sold ka dito.
ubusin mo, whatever. And I never smoked more than like a couple of slides, my whole life. So like, and it's first time smoking chubibo. That's what they called it. Like, they called the Ferris wheel. Like, because you just spin it around. It's like a glass with a burner. So first, and I threw up. And then like, then I threw up in his car. Like, and then after a while, like, I felt the rush in my head. That was the time I knew I was gonna be addicted to it for life. Like it's weird. Like
With a group,
Not
or
really, just
just
like-
by yourself.
I
Ganun.
just
so you can,
More or less,
actually, you can, pwede kang mag-weed talaga by yourself. Ako kasi hirap akong uminom mag-isa eh.
I mean with
Diba?
Hindi,
Meron-
meth yun eh. Chubibo.
Meth ba yun?
Oh, meth yun.
yeah. No,
Meth yun.
but that was the time I never knew anyone to score from. So it was slowly, but that was the first inclination. That was the first kind of sign that like I kind of think I'm gonna like it.
Oo.
Kind of like it,
So parang, bakit,
And this was
may-
like the 90s, so
Oh.
the shit that was out during the time, and it probably played a big effect on me now. Like when I can't finish sentences and stuff. I have ADD. I have kind of like I kind of like lose my train of thought. But then shit didn't help. It didn't help.
Was it cool sa band scene na ganun, yung meth? Kasi parang I've heard it a lot sa mga friends ko na banda, parang ginagamit namin yan after ng gig.
I guess before, going back to Karl, I love you, Karl. Karl was the type of guy that came from the old way of being a rock star. And that was Jim Morrison way, just took whatever was handed to you, take it. Diba?
Oh.
So that's
Pilipinas.
kind of, and Karl was like that.
Hardcore
He
yun.
was really like that.
Dude.
He'd take, and this is not to put him down. Karl was the real deal when it comes to
OG.
He even we did rugby. Like he did rugby,
Ganun
and
ka,
I go
extreme.
like, you fucking do
What the
rugby,
fuck?
and he'd go like, my amat is like wari, bro. And then I go like, hindi naman ako pag hinalaan na addict sa rugby if I try it. Like, this is Karl. Sorry, not to
naman.
be shameful about, but like, yeah, it's
Pero
really something that I hold dear, like that memory. And I didn't really. It was like wari. It's like, you hear music like that, and then
Anong
anong
tama ng rugby?
yung nose mo just like sticks together like that. If you do it, you really now you understand why they don't want to eat. The kids, the
street kids.
Lipad ka talaga. Like it's like wari muscle spray. You inhale it and it's like solvent, and then parang the sounds kind of go wom 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 wom. For a short while. For a short while. With rugby, it's a long time.
Wow.
Just one sniff?
No.
Hindi naman, matagal naman yun. Gaano katagal bago magkaamat sa...
It wasn't even a plastic bag. It was like a Pringles. I remember. It was in our friend. Shout out to Peng and Tim. They used to have a tattoo shop in this was in their house in San Antonio, Makati. And
Gaano katagal mo sisinghutin yun para magkaamats ka sa
you kind of have to put a little bit of water in Pringles. In a Pringles
can.
May water?
Parang
Kind of,
bong.
because
Parang bong.
I don't know why you put a little bit of water. I think it's because the viscosity of it. I think if you get a little running, I think it's better. Kasi tumitigas siya, I think nawawala yung... I don't know. I really don't know. But really, that's what they did. You put a little bit of water and then you
just wait for it.
kind of like, it was a closed Pringles thing. So, but Karl would do anything. He'd like fucking...
For the high.
For the sake of it.
I think he was just, he was...
Maybe he's at home with
He
the
was
high.
very... The word is... He was a curious cat. He'd try it if it was there. You know what I mean? So, even meeting him for the first time, he'd be talking about that. Like, he named this band P.O.T. that came from
pot.
Peyote. No, not pot.
Pot.
Peyote.
Peyote.
Peyote, it's a cactus, kind of from the family of cactuses that are only found in the desert. And it's really a hallucinogen. That's where it came from. So,
really?
Yeah.
Fun
I
fact.
see.
so he's a guy that tried it all. He tried ether. Like
Ether.
you don't know anyone that tried ether. Like it's
Parang
from
Marvel.
that's like from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and ether, when you think about it, that's like Civil War shit. That's like their anesthetic. So like how do you even get your
May isang
hold on that?
May isang substance na pilit na pinapatry sa akin ng mga tropang rapper ko kasi parang feeling na nakaka-enhance ng creativity.
Which
LSD.
Yeah, man.
LSD.
I mean, well, it's not for everyone. I love acid, and I'd always support at least trying it. Because it's the doors to.
Have you tried?
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
Damn.
It's not good to do all the time. Like it's
Yeah.
may
mga bad
my
trip.
uncle told me like, and this is a relation, okay? Lysergic acid was invented on a fucking bicycle. Albert Hoffman. That's why when you celebrate Bicycle Day, it's not just celebrating the perfect machine or the man's greatest invention, which is the bicycle. It's really also to celebrate the first acid trip in the world.
Can you tell us the story of that?
It's really just by accident. Some guy, Albert Hoffman, and like, correct me, like, people know the facts like, in the comments.
Google mo.
In his German or Swiss lab or something, like, took some acid, and
Tinan mo yung illustration.
yeah. Well, that's a blot of, that's like a whole sheet of acid.
Trippy bike, right?
What you were looking at, that's like the Albert Hoffman kind of design. Like, you could rip the piece of paper. But anyway, he discovered it on a bike, and then it started kicking in. But yeah, acid is relatively safe physically on your body, but it's like if you're bipolar or like your mental fortitude can't handle it,
What can happen?
you could get a bad trip and kind of like not come back. And I've seen people like, like if you do it in a controlled environment. I've always wanted to try, and Joe Rogan's into this, and he'll always be he's
Kailangan may kasama ka ng marunong para para
just like
There's
with
always a
anything,
caution.
just like with anything,
May mag-aalaga sa'yo.
like shrooms or whatever.
Oo.
That's natural. That's like a natural kind of acid. Whatever. You have to be with someone to guide you and shit. But I feel the culture's changed. Back in the day, it was all about like, let's try this, let's try that, let's get high. But now,
how did he invent LSD on the bicycle?
he didn't invent it on the bicycle,
Oh,
but
paano?
he
What's the
tried it on
connection?
himself.
Okay.
And the first time he's ever, he had no guinea pig. It was himself.
Okay.
And he took like, I don't know how many doses from the dropper, but then it kicked in when he was riding the bike home. So
Mas lumakas yung amats.
Yeah.
So nag-trip siya,
Yeah.
tapos naramdaman yung amats habang
Yeah.
nagbabike siya.
and then he figured out in the
Nag-metabolize
process
kasi.
that acid is like you look at things in a different way. Like just like DMT and all that, our brain produces DMT. Plants produce DMT, but the CAA, they take it and then they ban it.
Yung cousin ko na IT dude, sabi niya, nag-trip daw siya, parang you would see things na parang, kaya pala ganito tayo kasi parang
Yeah.
aliens, ganun.
You look at it in a different way. And also, it's the first drug, if I'm not mistaken, that music plays a big part in making your trip.
Yeah.
Before ecstasy, before all of that, it was
Senses.
really acid. So the word bad
Sensory
trip.
overload talaga.
Yung ecstasy yan yung na-try ko na drug eh. So parang,
Yeah, and there's some
na-enhance lang
tabs
yan.
that kind of have a little bit of acid.
Acid.
Yeah, like,
Pero
like
not
2C,
exactly yung trip,
2CB,
yung
2CB.
journey ka, wala
It's not really like people assume. No, it's like, you see colors and stuff. Yeah, if you do it during the day and you look at the sun and you do like a lot,
it
like you
can.
do two blots maybe,
Oh.
you kind of see swirls and stuff.
But-
But it's really not like a cartoon like what people think. It's like sometimes in your mind, it's really just
like this.
like really what people want to achieve is like ego death or something. But like, it's not.
It's not that. It's not that.
You know what I mean? You could
Oo.
think about whatever. You could not even exist. Like I don't know. Sometimes you could.
Depende sa nagmamaneuver nung trip mo. Like kunwari experience siya. This is how you should think.
In later years, okay. So last time I did it was really during our Cosmic Love reunion in Tagaytay. Okay, just want to say on air to all the people that came out. This is our reunion. We've been together for 20 years. It wasn't wise for me to take acid, and I thought I could kind of do it, and still sing. I was gone, I wasn't there. There were times I didn't. So thank you to everybody that came, and you know who you are, like close friends. I didn't mean to like,
Let you down.
let you down. Okay? And maulit-ulit yun. We're gonna,
Talaga? So, kumbaga,
we had a reunion gig and it was just, I don't want to blame no one, it's myself. But really,
Hindi ka naman pakinabangan.
it was just fucked up. We'd be doing like a song for like so long, like 20 times, like the chorus, I'd go back to the chorus. And then like, I'm here, like, fuck. Anyway, to people listening, like,
have you ever heard the stoned monk, the stoned ape theory? Diba? Na parang
no, is that from Rogan?
yeah. Well, it's na parang humans, the theory basically says humans evolved our intelligence.
Yeah.
We evolved from apes who discovered mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then kumbaga nagma-mushroom sila and they got high and that enhanced their brain power and then eventually naging naka-discover tayo ng higher consciousness from being apes.
From that theory.
I never really thought of it that way, but like, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But then there's also a missing link. Yeah. I was all more on like, but I do believe like it is, I mean, if you come out of it and as long as you don't like, like get, as long as you come back from it, it's just like any journey physically or spiritually.
Like a bike ride.
Yeah, like a bike ride. You one-upped yourself because you came from something that you've never tackled in your life before, and you did it. Now, any journey, you know what I mean? Whether it could benefit you even sometimes more than reading about it. Just do it, But not that I'm condoning doing whatever illegal
Substances, John.
Illegal substances.
Pharmaceutical
itong
company
Stone Ape theory mo.
products or mga black market.
Kasi yung mga simvastatin, mga ano na rin yan eh, mga
sabi ko
substance
lang,
na
just,
yan.
Kasi-
just be curious about it and maybe research. Pero hindi naman yung be a moron and take it.
Just take
Well,
around.
actually, yes. It's you need take the necessary precautions. Kasi the thing is,
Have you ever heard about and they have this in Makati now? It's called sensory deprivation chambers.
yeah.
Like Joe Rogan's super
Meron na,
into it,
meron
diba?
na. Talaga,
They have it, and it just shows na no one's interested sa Pinas kasi like 3,000 yung unang labas nila na promo price, tapos ngayon 999 na.
Talaga?
Kasi
I wanna try it.
Sige, I wanna try it. They have like a place, I think it's called Float Labs or something in
You know what?
Makati.
You know what? Ang kinakatakot ko lang doon.
It's scary daw to even go 30 minutes.
Kasi it's ano eh, parang
That's true.
medyo may thalassophobia kasi ako eh.
Alam mo yung Metallica na video, yung One? Yung soldier
Hindi ko
na...
maalala, hindi ko maalala.
Soldier na kalbo na... Ay, kalbo. Labo. Soldier na putol yung hands. Yung,
Oo.
wala siyang
Amputee.
torso. Amputee na parang like black and white film siya. I don't know what movie it's from. But in the video, di ba parang like yung nagtatap na siya like SOS, SOS. And like, what is it? He's saying, kill me now. Yung parang like, I don't know if I'm just a piece of meat. Am I awake or asleep? Awake or asleep? Kasi he says, you don't know if you're awake or asleep or if it's reality or not. Kasi,
Sa sensory deprivation.
yeah, because you don't know if your eyes are awake. You don't have eyes, di ba? Like,
So, let's explain muna kung ano yung sensory deprivation na
it takes away your you can't see, you can't feel, you can't you could smell. I guess you could smell, but like really, you're just smelling something with no smell.
I think parang parang
Yeah, in
isasubmerge
water.
ka sa tubig eh. Tapos
Where there's no weight,
There's no-
and
no
stuff.
light.
Yeah, no light.
diba?
So just imagine doing that for just a couple of minutes. But diba, how long could you do that?
Or hindi tubig, parang chamber lang.
Yeah, where sound really doesn't revert.
Eto,
you can't
ganito
really
ba?
speak. Yeah.
Ganito pala itsura nun, di ba? So parang you're gonna be suspended in water and pero may
Pero
ilaw
you
pa
can
to
move
eh, di ba?
no?
Oo.
Parang I didn't think it looked like that.
Dude, hindi.
Medyo peke yan.
Tama
La
ba?
Lola.
Is it
Meron pang isa,
Meron yung
parang
you can't
chamber
really
lang.
move eh.
Oh.
Oo.
sensory deprivation tank? Actually, isasara to. Alam ko dapat kasi
Pero
parang,
if you could kind of float, then you're conscious. Parang hindi yata ganun.
Oh, hindi. Meron parang chamber.
If you could kind of like bash the water and stuff.
Yung kay
splash,
Joe,
no?
bro, parang chamber. Hindi siya ganyan.
Yeah.
alam ko na may tubig eh. Alam ko yung sinasabi niya, may tubig.
May tubig.
Oh, tapos naka-float siya sa tubig. Tapos so everything's dark as in pitch black.
Yan.
Tapos wala siyang naririnig. So, feeling ko mag-freak out ako eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba?
Pero yung mga yan is to simulate yung effect nung substance or whatever.
No, not really. It's,
Not really.
it's basically to just
Therapy, 'di ba?
Therapy?
it's kind of like I always say like it's more of hallucinogenic trip if you
Benefits.
close your eyes and kind of like where because in later years when I was a kid I never really think about taking acid and doing shit like that, like self kind of
Medication, ganyan.
self-exploring and stuff, my mind. But in later years, like if I did have the opportunity to do it, or like have the opportunity to be handed like a little bit of acid, I'd kind of make the most out of it. Like I'd sometimes I'd microdose, just take a little bit, you know what I mean, and kind of try to be creative and go on with my day, meeting people and stuff, or like, you know, and you rarely really feel the amat. Then you kind of gauge like, was that the assets why I was like inclined to build something or make something, or
Was
I'd
it-
take a lot of it and really be gone, but I kind of listen to like binaural vibration music or like, you know, like music that's on a certain frequency that kind of it's supposed to like conjure up, you know, kind of like DMT shit, you know, like whether it's like entities or whatever. And it kind of was scary. There were times like I felt like this one time I was in my room and then I was just like on the floor and like I was like a day and a half went by already and I was like my room's a mess. I'm like, shit, what the fuck happened? And
You haven't created anything, ganun.
no, it was more like I wanted to explore what would happen, you know, if I took two blots
Oh.
and stuff, and kind of wear blinders, kind of like drift off to trance and whatever meditation.
Mm.
What happened was like, it's kind of scary, but it was kind of fun because I thought that I kind of like understood what was going on. Like everything is vibration. I even called my ex during the time, like I understand it now. She's like, what the fuck? Okay.
You don't understand nothing.
Actually, reading my texts na nabasa ko pa yung text ko sa kanya. Oh my God, I think I'm astral travelong pa eh. Travelong! So she's like, okay, enjoy.
Okay, enjoy. Oo nga, no? Akala mo you figured it out.
Yeah.
But sa kabilang tao, parang hindi pa.
Ang favorite na effect ng mga drugs na ganyan is for me is yung after mong mag-hit, mga 3 days, ang ganda ng mga panaginip ko. As in, parang basta yun ang that's one thing that I look forward to eh.
What's true, like sometimes if you feel like you're stuck, well, not to take my advice, but like, I'm just saying, like, from what I have gone through, like, I know, like, you have nothing to lose. Like, if I feel like I'm like in a slump and I don't understand what I need to change in my life or something, or like I kind of feel stuck at the moment, whatever project I'm doing, or like music, or like where I wanna go in my life. Those are the times like I'll say, okay, like I'll do it. I'll take a little bit of acid, and you come out from it. Rarely does it happen that I come out more like with a problem. It's more like, wow, what a reset. It's kind of like what it is. It's like a reboot. Like you're a computer and like it just sometimes,
Hard reset.
Yeah.
So, ikaw, Je, are you game?
Saan?
Acid trip?
Actually, I've been looking forward to actually wala lang talaga ako makuhanan.
Ako feeling ko kasi
Wala talaga makuhanan.
ito yung fear ko, Je, sa age natin. Kasi 38, 40.
Oo.
Kaya pa ba ng katawan
We're
natin?
the same age, 40.
Or 40.
I just turned
Actually, 42 na ako.
42.
I turned 42.
Man.
But can we handle it, yung effect?
Ako, tingin ko kaya ko. Kasi I think I'm mentally strong enough to
Physically,
to handle it.
kaya din.
Tingin ko kaya ko
Physically,
naman.
it's safe naman. It's
Physically
more
safe.
on
Mental.
the mental.
More on sa
Mental.
brain talaga yung tinitira na eh.
I mean, I have a lot of friends that are super smart people and they know themselves that like, acid's not for me. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, kasi you can be really smart pero if you're not mentally strong,
Yeah.
it's yung kung compromised yung, let's say you're
It
depressed.
will break you, ganun.
Diba?
You'll just
Bad trip.
yeah.
Oh.
Or
Can you
you could
describe-
just be crazy.
Can you describe what a bad trip is? Based on what you've seen?
Or have
How do you
experience.
There's a time I did it in it wasn't a controlled environment. It was outdoors. It wasn't a rave, or something like. And then you do acid there, or like you do it. Sometimes it's scary being in the chaos of the city,
Mm-hmm.
or like if people don't understand what you're doing, diba? Or like you can't be free. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What happened to those who had bad trips?
Or for your experience niya.
For me, it was just really just trying to get home. Really, it was like I felt like I was in
Anxiety.
Getting away from these people.
Yeah,
Anxiety.
No one could. You couldn't understand no one. And it was just all I wanted to do was go home. And I didn't even know where that
anxious,
was.
basically.
You know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
It's kind of. It could be crazy. That's why don't do it. If you're gonna do it for the first time, I'm not even gonna be that guy to tell you to do it or not. Just.
Dude, ako nga sa marijuana, praning ako eh. Like, even with my closest friends, parang if I smoke a joint, parang fuck, he's gonna kill me. Parang ganun.
Really?
Minsan ganun, may pagka-paranoid kasi ako kahit na hindi ako high. So, na-enhance siya minsan.
Yeah. Like,
kasi kahit sa marijuana,
like
you can
even
get a
with
bad trip.
with super potent weed that they have now, diba? Like there are a lot of cases in England, like people are into artificial weed, like called skunk or something,
Oo.
and then they really get crazy, because I don't know if you do it for so long, siguro, like, and it's so it's man-made na yung pagka-potency ng weed.
Oo.
Like, can get you kind of, I guess. But like, I know what you mean. Sometimes weed's so strong. Like, I'd be driving my car and I'd be like, I feel like I'm
Dude,
a fucking amateur in weed. Like, when I did vape, the dab,
Yung,
the
oh.
pen.
Bro, pinaka matinding
Kaya
amats.
ba si Patrick, yung manager ni Hooch?
Patrick, palang barit. Shout out. I love him.
Yung oil,
He's
yung
my
vape
man.
oil. Sobrang lakas doon. Na
Oh shit,
ano,
were we supposed to say that? Oh,
comatose. Hindi, wala
Really?
naman.
Oh, hindi,
No, but I love the guy. Are you talking about Patrick Palambarit? Yeah, he's my man. He's the manager of Razorback.
Oh.
Ex-manager of
Doon ang lakas ng weed niya.
the Greyhounds.
Oh.
And a good friend of ours. My man.
Actually, ang pinakamatinding amats ko ever was from edibles.
Yeah.
So,
Kasi ako
eh,
din, my
let me
first
let me-
ever was brownies. Like,
Ah.
na sobrang like, I was like so gone.
Yung sa'yo, Je,
I was, kumbaga parang this chick, nandun kami sa innocuous na place. So, hindi ko expect na magbibigyan niya ako ng edible. Tapos, it's a chocolate bar. I thought it was an imported parang Korean brand.
Yeah.
Kasi parang hindi ko, parang Korean yung pabalat eh. So, binigyan niya ako ang unti lang nung unang binigay. Sabi, ang unti naman ito.
Oh, vape.
Dagdagan mo naman.
Pwede.
So,
Thank you.
after that, dinagdagan niya basta sobrang dami. Ang ginawa ko,
Oh. Any.
sinubo
Is this,
ko lahat.
Yung you buy a lot of this? Sorry, sinubo mo
Sige,
lahat.
sige. Sinubo ko lahat. Tapos nagulat pa siya eh.
sour apple.
I love it. Is this, okay, sorry.
Nagulat pa siya kasi sinubo ko lahat yung
Yeah.
yung binigay niya.
Na brownie? Brownie ba siya?
Hindi. Parang chocolate bar.
Oh my God.
Tapos parang 2 tipak ng Hershey's nung...
Kasi you were hungry, like, up.
Kasi I didn't think it was an edible na weed,
Oo.
di ba?
You just thought it was chocolate.
Akala ko
Brown
just regular
chocolate.
Holy
chocolate.
shit.
So you were, nom.
Siya nag-bake nun.
Hindi. Parang,
Anong effect sa'yo?
tol, siguro, nakikipag-usap ako dun sa, after eating, parang nakita ko yung mukha niya, na-shock siyang ganun eh. Kasi kinain ko lahat eh.
Sponsored by XP3.
After 5 minutes.
You guys are sponsored?
Oh.
I love it. Ganun.
Yung pala yung tsura niyan.
XP3.
Teka, pakita natin. Naku,
Anyway, you were saying, dude, yung edibles.
Well, long story short, hindi ko alam na edible pala yung binigay sa akin. Kala ko it was just regular chocolate. So, after siguro 5 minutes, nakaganyan na lang talaga ako. Tulala na lang talaga ako doon. Tapos later on, inantok na ako. And when I got home, yung wife ko na lang yung nag-drive papunta sa pauwi eh. Siguro tulog ako ng mga 10 hours.
Wow.
Tapos ang ganda ng mga panaginip ko. Grabe.
I love it.
Sobrang ang ganda ng mga panaginip ko
Talagang
talaga.
purong-puro yung pagkasabi mo nun.
Oo.
Talagang honest.
Ang daming
Naramdaman ko
Pero
yun.
hindi ka humihinto nun, Je, parang, kasi pag hike ka sa weed, parang, kala mo, tagal na, pero 1 minute na pala nakakalipas. Ay, kala mo, tagal na.
Ewan ko feeling ko
In
kasi
front of a microwave, feeling ko, tapos na, tagal ko dun eh. Yun pala, wala pang 1 minuto.
hindi ko alam kung
Lamig pa ng pagkain.
maybe there's something dun sa timpla nung edible na. Kasi ako kasi pag I only do weed parang very rarely.
Yeah.
Pero when I do, yung pipe ko yung malaki, yung ganyan.
Yeah.
Yung ganyan, tapos ganyan kahaba. Inuubos ko yun.
Oo.
Diba? So parang, and pag nagkakaamats ako dun, siguro yung pinakang main na amats, siguro mga 5 minutes lang eh.
Fascinating, no? Like,
Pero parang-
edibles kasi you can't count how many puffs you did eh. You did
You
this
just
much
eat it.
weed.
Tama.
You don't know how much weed they put, di ba?
No, di ba? Tapos magkakaiba pa ng timpla yan eh. Depende dun sa manufacturer. So, I don't know.
Kaya even yung parang cannabis na butter or something, can of butter, something like, or whatever, like even shrooms that they put in an omelette, na parang like, akala mo egg lang and then you eat it. Nangyari sa kilala natin. I mean, kilala ko na, well, I don't know, baka medyo.
Oh, wag na.
Pero she ate the omelette, tapos parang, akala niya, nagutom siya, she just woke up eh, sa Puerto Galera. Simple na, nag-trip na siya.
Pero marami talagang mataas yung tolerance sa
Tortang shrooms. Tortang shrooms ba?
Maraming tao mataas yung tolerance sa weed na parang kahit anong hititin lang di sila na
Sobrang disappointed ko nga sa sa shops.
sa Beth.
Kasi hindi ko talaga naramdaman. Kasi ang plano namin ng mga kabanda ko,
This was a long time ago.
a long time ago.
90s.
Hindi, mga
Early 2000s.
late 2000s siguro to early 2010s. So, pagkatapos ko nun, we were supposed to write songs with my bandmates. Pero wala rin nangyari. Hindi rin kami nakasulat.
Going back to what I was gonna say, and I wanted to say it kanina. We were talking about Karl. We're talking about like lifestyle of is it cool to do drugs and be in a band. I think that's where the kind of attitude about it came from. Yung parang like Jim Morrison, like take shit. And Karl was from that group. But when he died, I think there was a shift and people saw it and people like sort of and then the lifestyle of people changed then with what became cool. People
Really?
like
You think-
now people are like health conscious now, and not just even band people.
Well, actually, kasi parang
it's not cool to be that guy that's like super fucked up anymore.
siguro parang weed na lang halos yung tinitira ng mga Diba?
But yung isa was broken.
Oh, it was broken. Sorry.
Wow. But then I'm smoking yours. This is your last. Thanks.
Okay din tong Spider-Man na logo na lang. XP3.
It has
Ano yung
5%
flavor na to?
nicotine.
Oh.
Thanks. So, yeah, and I always wanted to stop smoking cigarettes then, because breathing is everything, and I think about it how much stronger I'd be cycling without smoking. Pero ang hirap eh.
Kasi yung sinabi
Hirap to stop
what you said earlier, na parang there's a shift in the culture of bad people. Kasi parang ang hirap mong imagine na I'm sorry to doon sa mga gagamitin kong example. Pero parang hirap imagine na yung let's say Ben and Ben na parang addict sila sa sabu, di ba?
Exactly my point. Di ba? Pero back in the day, yung mga banda, walang Ben and Ben. Di ba?
Oo,
They were
diba?
all like, Shackle. Lahat sila addict.
Di ba?
E-heads, they
Pepe
fuck
Smith,
around.
di ba?
Pepe
Drop
Smith. You know what I mean?
Oh, di ba?
You know what I mean, di ba?
Yeah.
And
Tropical depression. Diba?
and plus, even the music was different, di ba? Like, man.
It's very hard to imagine Ben and Ben living that
Pepe
kind
Smith
of lifestyle.
accepted the award for like
Pero-
1996 NU Hall of Fame Rock Award, and first thing he goes, when
diba?
Moses came down from Mount Sinai, ang bato ay bato.
Sino
Diba?
nagsabi niya?
Pepe Smith.
Si Pepe Smith.
So he's talking about rock
Pero,
music.
pero you'll never know eh.
Oh,
Di ba parang si Bieber ba, ini-expect mo naka-cannabis? Di ba parang
Yeah,
yan?
he's just weed's okay.
Sa weed, hindi ako magugulat eh. Pero
weed's
kung let's
alright.
say,
Weed's kind of like, man, now,
Nasa
weed's
vape na nga
legal
ngayon eh.
in most places in the world.
Oo
diba?
nga, sabagay,
Like,
sabagay.
now, it's like something, and people do that with like being health conscious now. Back in the day, it wasn't even cool to go to it wasn't, I mean, maybe for some bands, like maybe Danzig or like the Misfits, that be fucking ripped and be punk. That's cool.
Red Hot.
you know what?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but that's the shift na nga eh. Like he was, but come to think about it, man, even if he was on heroin, I think he just was always ripped.
Ripped.
Diba?
Oh, di ba?
tingin ko ang isang reason is like what I said earlier, na parang madami ka na kasing pwedeng ibang kaadikan.
Not just physically, but
Pwede ka ng
mental
ibang
well-being
ma-addict.
now is important, diba?
Yeah.
Oh.
That shit.
And also madami ka ng pwedeng kaadikan instead of
Yeah.
drugs, di ba? You can be addicted to video games,
Kasi,
to
And
social
also,
media.
it's okay to talk about it if you're depressed or whatever.
Oh.
So, at least from example, when Karl died, a lot of people were telling me, elder people like in the scene or whatnot would go like, we should take it as an example. And it did kind of slowly happen, like all those people that were fucked up didn't get fucked up. And these were musicians that I looked up to. they were all now enlightened, kind of, you'd say, like, because they've been through it, but you definitely see nothing hindered them. In fact, they're even better now with their family and success with handling money and stuff because they're not fucked up on shit.
And some are working out. Si Jay ng Kamikaze,
Yeah.
grabe nag-work out.
And you can only kind of do it for so long, I guess,
Yeah.
until your age kind of like catches up. If you think about it, Carl was not that old when he died.
How old was he?
Like, if you think about it, he was my age when he already got a double bypass.
Damn, double bypass.
Something like that. Like, he already had an open heart surgery. Oh, double bypass, something like an open heart surgery. This was, I was still in school. Yung time yan. Tapos, merong concert para sa kanya. I went to it. Yung Yugyugan para sa kay Karl Roy. Sa Pasig yata or something. And that was to fund his operation. And that was POT pa. The early days. So, he already had the double bypass. So, the second time that he had it, stroke, the first time or something, that was already yung kapatid na I knew them as friends. And then, you could tell na it was just a matter of time na parang he would, kasi you just almost on like a half an engine diba?
Bumigay na rin yung katawan niya eh. Was he into any sports ba? When
Not
you met
really.
him?
He was like when I first met him, he said he was a surfer, and I did know a lot of people from Bagas Bus, from Diet, and shout out to Baker and them. Happy birthday! Your birthday just came. And he was a surfer, kind of boogie board, But and they love him there in Diet, but he wasn't really a surfer.
He was
you know what I mean?
he was masabi lang.
No, he kind of was, but he didn't do it all the time. You know what I mean? So he's more of a tripper. He's more of an explorer. He's a psychonaut, you could say. Karl Roy.
I see.
Not really into sports, no.
I saw him once, siguro late 90s yun, sa McDonald's,
yeah.
sa ATC,
Oh.
Alabang Town Center. Tapos, he was really, kumbaga, parang, sobrang cool talaga niya. Parang it
yung
was
yung
like
aura niya, dude.
two-
Nakita
two-
mo.
It was 2 a.m. Kasama niya pa yung girlfriend niya na
Mariel
yung
Didi.
yung puti.
So growing up, was this the 90s? Yeah, it could be. Or it could be
Caucasian girl.
Si Dina. Dina's the Caucasian girl.
Mas matangkad sa kanya eh.
Well, they're both.
Mas matangkad siya. Anyway, parang starstruck ako eh. Parang nakapila siya dun sa McDonald's. Parang nasa likod nila ako. Hindi ko siya naka-dreadlocks pa siya nun eh.
Okay.
Oh.
That was Dina, I guess.
I see.
But see, Carl was always like, because in the 90s, like, I was a fan of POT. The first time I saw the Live and Loud, yung MTV Live and Loud performance nila, wow, I was blown away. And shout out to POT, they're playing now with
the new vocalist.
Yeah, Red from Oho Roho. More power, man.
Hawig ni Karl Roy.
Dapat mag-jump tayo
I
ng
feel
POT.
like with a different sound. Yeah, man. Yeah. I got a POT song that we could play.
Oh, we can play one. Let's go. Jet. Get ready.
Kaya niya na yan.
Well, these are the chords I don't know.
Wala akong ano eh.
Kahit hindi naka-hook up yung gitara.
Okay. Rinig naman. Wala kasi akong boses ngayon.
Okay.
Toka mo na yan.
Tino Valentino.
What's the lyrics of that?
Laging na...
No. Ulitin. What's the lyrics?
Ano yan?
Search mo. Ulit yan.
Oo nga,
Fuck.
No.
Wait.
Ta.
Let's Google the lyrics.
Impromptu.
Million miles from home. They got it from... but it came from Kizaya.
Ito ay
I
impromptu.
shoot myself today, yeah. They let my sadness start to show. Okay. Sa aking paningin, iba't ibang landas. Puno-puno ng kulay, ingat lang sa ahas. Laging nawawalan, kaunting halik sa ulap, ako'y nabulagan. Oh, ayoko nang isipin, hindi na ulitin. Ayoko nang isipin, hindi na ulitin. Nadapa nalunod, ayaw nang bumangon. Ako'y biglang namulat, kailangan nang umao. Mundong ito'y nakakalito. Oh, kaluluwa'y sanang lumayo. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ayoko nang isipin, hindi na ulitin. Ayoko nang isipin, hindi na ulitin. Sorry, hindi ko na alam yung part na yun. Pero happy birthday, Carl. It was his birthday.
Happy birthday, Karl Roy, OG! Okay.
Oh, brother.
Grabe.
Dapat pala, nilagyan ko ng harp.
Oo nga eh.
Oo.
Magsasawas. I'm a terrible guitar player. So,
Pero ano na tayo, nakaka 1 hour 25 minutes na pala tayo. Mag-Sawsawan Blues na tayo.
Oh, okay.
Hindi, i-end natin to. Tapos next
Pwede tayo mag-backing
episode.
track, John.
Ano no?
End natin to sa next episode para dun sa Miss Universe.
Hindi, pero mag-Sawsawan Blues muna tayo.
Sige.
Sawsawan Blues muna tayo.
Okay yan. Meron ba yung backing track, John?
Parang freestyle.
Mag-backing track na tayo. Freestyle lang.
Parang freestyle
I
to.
love it.
Teka, nasan yung blues harp ko ito?
Ah, yeah.
Okay, backing
Hey.
track, Jet.
Teka.
Medyo hindi ako naturuan ng aking kaibigan dati sa blues.
Ano pag-uusapan natin sa blues? Ano lang to medyo...
May topic tayo, ganun.
Hindi. Bahala na.
Yeah.
Sino mauna?
Si Tones.
Yeah.
Tino Valentino, syempre.
Man, thanks for having me on here.
Teka.
I didn't mean to ramble on, but
Anytime.
I feel like it's freedom din eh.
Sobra.
Bro, this is...
Actually, parang therapy sa amin ni Gerald.
actually, I hardly go out anymore, di ba? And this is actually parang...
Hindi nga namin alam bakit nag 1K kami. Na 1K subscribers.
I love it.
kami.
More power, man. And I've always been fascinated by... Kasi si Toots, kalinawan ng Quezon. Like, siya yung co-host ko sa radio show. We had a radio show back in the day called Jam, called The Get Down on Jam. And I guess, because he was busy moving and he had a kid and stuff, hindi namin natuloy eh. And looking back, sayang eh. You know, parang he had a radio show. We wanted to take the format to podcasts and stuff, but then we didn't really know where to get started. Pero it's cool what you guys are doing.
Bro, we can help you out if you need help, bro. Just let us know.
Si Je can hook you up. Kasi siya nag-hook up sa akin nung gusto ko mag-podcast din eh.
Nice.
It's it just looks complicated pero hindi talaga. Well, it's a little complicated
Yeah, when it
pero
comes to like the gear and stuff.
pero if you once you learn it, it's easy. It becomes easy.
Ako nga na-overwhelm ako nung una. Bumili pa nga ako ng audio, ano yun? Interface, audio interface. Sabi ko, ano ba to? Tapos si JR.
Yeah, kasi sometimes it may latency eh. You really need an audio interface to get it.
Kasi ngayon we got dati nahihirapan kami sa audio eh kasi in a podcast, audio is king talaga eh. Parang yun ang sumabit ka na sa video, wag lang sa audio.
Yeah.
Di ba? So, nagano na ako. Nagpangmalakasan na kami.
Tama. And sa Spotify, naka-video to eh.
So, anong ninyo? Wow. So, wait. Going back to Spotify before we end it,
nga pala, meron kang
single.
I have only one song there and it's not even the singles that I put out kasi it got pulled out. And you know my ex, diba si Kat Nanya? And more power to her. I totally support what she's doing. It's just that during the time that we broke up, I didn't want to have to go through her and talk to her pa to get my new music up there. And during that time when we were together, we came out with a
shared account.
Kind of came up with a label called Turned On Records, and it's still her, you know. But she pays for it through her credit card because she had a credit card paying for the account. But then we broke up na eh. So parang ang hirap naman like to kind of, parang it's like almost like a chore na she's doing for me. So, I made the choice. But then, it got pulled down, syempre, because she's not paying for that anymore. So, but this is for the people that if there are people like that kind of were kind of fans of what I was doing, like, I'm gonna put out music soon. And plus, thanks for having me on here because it's sakto na time in my life na I feel like I took a couple of steps back because like my Facebook got hacked. It's just connected to my artist page also. So, plus no gig. So, I mean, there were a lot of times when I felt, especially nowadays, like it's so, you have to always be you have to always be seen,
Yeah.
to
Tama.
be an artist. Like it's not, people don't really
Visibility,
put out
no.
albums anymore. It's like really singles or whatever in content and stuff to be visible. That's the word, visible all the time. Diba? So,
Mayonnaise, di ba?
yeah. Well, shout out schoolmate ko yun, si
Monty.
and them. Monty and
So, do you have any music you want to promote right now? Or
You want to sing for us?
well, can't really play it on guitar, but then there's some music on Instagram. Check my Instagram. It's
Instagram.
Tones
Let's
Valentino.
check, di ba? Bago tayo
Sawsawan Blues.
Okay.
Oh.
Teka, ano ba tong, bakit nandiyan?
Ito rin yung avenue ko kasi Tones nung na-stop
Thanks.
ako sa stand-up na
Yeah.
parang sabi ko, at least dito ko papatuloy yung art ko.
And I love it. When I first met you, like I was always been a fan of stand-up, and like, and I still am, and it's almost just like being in a, like even Jack White of the White Stripes, he's always been a fan of. That's why him and Conan O'Brien, they get along. Because you're always thinking, and at the same time, it's like trying out a new song, but it's even harder because it's like, how do you move into a new joke or like, and you have to really try it like with people, and if it bombs, diba? It's just like trying a new song, But even harder, I feel, kasi like
Is
Wala.
it Tino Valentino ba? Ang ano?
Tones Valentino.
Tones?
Yeah.
How do you spell?
One
T-O-
word, tone. That's the Instagram.
T-O-N-E-S?
Yeah.
Tones.
Yan. It's nakadikit siya sa unang-una. So it's called Chasing You Around.
Okay.
Well, that's the last one I put
This
out.
one?
Yeah.
Yan.
Teka. Let's show it.
And then I just made the video with like Adobe Spark, so it's like a pandemic shit.
Follow nyo si Tones Valentino on Instagram.
Thank you.
Uy, bakit ayaw lumabas?
Doon siya nakalink sa...
Teka. Ulitin natin.
Ang ganda ng video, ah.
Ano lang yung mga royalty-free na footage.
We can make a live gig, Je, with Tones, no?
Yeah, man, I'll super support
Meron
your
kaming
shit.
venue dito, eh. Magbubuk lang kami ng venue ni
Okay.
Tino Valentino, ladies and gentlemen.
Last few days since you walked away was just sad to me. To think I probably scared you.
Shout out to Ann Jones Elimos. He's also part of Kapatid and became my bandmate for co-producing.
Thinking about me. I can't lay my head down and sleep thinking about where you could be. I keep chasing you around. See the back of your
May
head
reggae,
in the crowd.
Yeah.
May reggae hint, di
I
ba?
call out for your name. It's never your face when you turn around. I keep chasing you.
Banda ng baselines,
See the back of
Thank
your
you.
head in the crowd. When I'm out, I call out for your name. It's never your face when you turn around.
I see.
Didn't think I'd be so deep into you. Didn't think I'd be a fool. Having trouble trying to get over you. Didn't think I'd do what I do. Trouble trying to move on from this. pacing back and forth in my room. If only I could erase all memory of you, so I won't have to chase you. All this thinking has done me no good. It's better to understand rather than to be understood. Gotta get out from under because it's eating at my brain. Think I'm losing my mind this time. I think I'm going down. I think I'm going insane. I keep chasing you around. See the back of your head in the crowd. When I'm out, I call out for your name. It's never your face when you turn around. I keep chasing you around. See the back of your head in the crowd. When I'm out, I call out for your name. It's never your face when you turn around. So go on, I won't chase you around, 'cause I don't belong here. I don't belong here. Go on, you're much too young.
Sorry, ang gulo ng drums dito eh. Kami naman.
Oo, irregular yung ano, di ba?
Keep chasing you around. See the back of your head in the crowd. When I'm out, I call out for you.
Sino nag-drums yan?
It's never your face.
Ano na yan eh? Electric drums, electronic drums.
Ikaw pumala.
Kami tsaka si Ann Jones, Elements.
I call out for your name. It's never your face.
Grabe yung electric drums to. Kala mo parang shoutout Zero De Leon. Ikaw pa rin yung best drummer sa
Solid
akin.
si Zero. Yung ginagawa niyang maleta drums.
Oo, grabe. Mga De Leon brothers.
Yeah, man.
Sinong nag-shoot ng video?
Oh, ano yan? Stock footage. Oo. And then I just put the same kind of filter just to marry them all.
It's never your face when you turn around.
Adobe Spark lang yan eh.
I see.
I was just wanting to be creative.
Ang galing ah. Kala mo totoo talaga eh, no?
Because you know, like I feel sometimes the package of visual art and may dog pa cute pa. Because I was trying to, you know.
Awesome,
It's all
man.
about,
Ganda.
So the package of
Visual art and the music at the same time, kind of, you know, it's just music alone sometimes could create a feeling of like it's so powerful. It could spark a revolution. It could, you know, like make you fall in love or whatever, you know. But the combo of the visual and music to me is really like, if you get it right, like it can touch a bone in someone, you know.
Yeah.
So that's just me, just trying to.
mahalaga yung MTV nung araw.
Yung mga videos, music videos niya.
Fiona Apple na nakapanty lang.
Oh, putz.
At kung
Kasi
kaya ngayon,
yung Aerosmith video, yan yung favorite ko dyan.
Amazing.
Yung amazing, talagang ilalako yung pinto at yun na yun.
Amazing! Pinagjack ko lang ngayon si Alicia Silverstone
Ako to
at si
yan.
Liv Tyler.
sa motor.
Yan, tsaka yung sa
Nagsurvive
motor,
sila sa
yung
motor.
may virtual reality.
Oo, di ba?
Anyway, ito na ang
Ito na ang teka.
ng mga fans natin.
Ano lang to ilang minutes ba to? Ilang minutes ba tong 4 minutes.
4 minutes, okay.
4 minutes 14 seconds para alam ng ni
Paunahan mo,
ni Tones.
Tones.
Oh.
Teka, medyo malakas ang ating okay. Ito na. Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Ang pagbabalik ng
Sawsawan Blues.
Alright.
Yeah. Alrighty. Hey. Woo. Yeah. Mama. Yeah. All right now. Said I woke up this morning, yeah. All right. Where I
I woke up this morning, I could feel that it was cold now.
It was cold.
Well, I woke up this morning, yes, I could feel that it was cold. Yeah. Been telling you now, my baby. I said we're going home, child. Going home. I feel you being too cold with me now. Too cold. Too cold. Too cold in the winter. I can feel that it was cold.
I'm running out of rhymes to say.
Oh, yeah.
And I could hear the traffic, yeah, from the street below.
Oh, thank Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Oh, Lord, thank you, Lord.
How many times I can tell you now, my mom? I said we're going home. How many times I gotta say it now, baby, yeah. Ooh. How many times I gotta tell you now, my dumpling, we're going home, my baby, going home,
There's a storm brewing.
my baby, yeah.
There's a storm brewing.
Going home, my baby. Going home, my baby. I'm going home, yes. Hey.
Go Jet.
Yeah, take it away now, my brother. I said I've been in the mood now, my baby. Yeah, I got a craving rising up in me. Say we're going home, home, my baby.
All right. There's a storm brewing. Oh, thank God.
Hey,
He's not coming home anymore.
come on now, say it loud.
Oh, yeah. The
There's
rain's
a storm.
supposed to fall tomorrow.
Yeah.
But thank Lord God, He's not coming here anymore. Instead, we are here drinking beer. Oh, not beer, whiskey. Brandy. With dogs in the house.
In my
Sawsawan
home,
podcast.
in my hometown, my family's hometown at least. In the 4 times, my love bone, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of city mama going home.
Yeah. Wish 105.
Ay, mulit. All right.
That was Sawsawan Blues, ladies and gentlemen, with Tino
Thank you.
Valentino,
for having me on the show.
komiksman, and yours truly.
Muntik na, akala ko ay madaming dadating na ulan ngayong gabi.
Pero hindi naman sila dumating.
Buti na lang, kundi ay hindi sana tuloy itong
Alam mo naman,
usapan.
Wow, umulan ng malakas. Okay lang, meron naman akong dalang mga gamot.
Ano gamot yan?
Kapote.
Gusto ko rugby.
Nadami tayo natutunan.
Sa mga droga na ipinagbabawal.
Hindi lang yun, mga pwedeng ipagpalit sa mga yon. Baka isipin nila mga exercise din.
Mga sexercise
Mga
at
sexercise din.
napatunayan na hindi nakakabaog ang pagbabike.
At ang vape na to na okay din ang lasa. Shout out.
XP3.
Itaas ang baso.
Ah,
Kalimutan ang mga
Problema.
hayaan lumipad. Hindi naman yung lumipad na.
Doon sa mga bata na mga hindi kilala si Karl Roy, mag-research muna.
Kung hindi nyo kilala si Karl, tangina nyo.
Happy birthday, Carl pala. Birthday niya
Ay,
kahapon.
pero sobrang idol ko si Karl
Oo
Roy.
naman.
Sobra.
And he taught me a lot.
And also,
How about
Karl
just
Roy
even
is
presenting myself as a
Karl
singer?
Roy is one of the truly premier vocalists
The real
in-
deal, man.
in
Institution.
OPM.
And he lives it, man.
Yes.
Tama.
Saka there's madaming mga
tutusin,
rocker, pero
ito yun eh. Kaibigan ko had the privilege of being his bandmate. May gig sila na hundreds of thousands yung bayad ng Red Horse or something, tapos biglang maubos lang yun. Saan na pupunta? Hindi ko alam.
pero may hula tayo. Pero,
Una tayo.
but,
Biglang humihiram
What-
daw siya ng pamasahe pa uwi. Hindi ko alam.
Saan napunta yun? Red Horse Beer!
well, actually,
Yeah, si Carl
whatever Karl Roy did in
Yeah.
his life,
He did it 101%.
and without regret. And it is his life, it is his choices. Tingin ko naman, wala naman siyang inapakang
Wala talaga. And who would hate on a guy, man? That's so... I mean, if you got to know him, like, man.
Pero pwede ba natin i-play yung video niya before we end the podcast?
I'm sure he had his demons.
Yeah,
diba?
we all-
Anong
Je,
podcast?
ito. Sasend ko sa iyo yung clip na tribute ni Boom the Yupay. Shout out.
Shout out to Kulay, man.
Kulay. Boom the Yupay, nood ng stand-up comedy show ko at
Shout
nagbabang
out to
ako.
Rada also. Like
Yan, Rada.
we did she performed with my old band to Carcinati. We all played together and it was just an honor.
Sa messenger mo.
Si Boom, it's also he's also like OG, like solid.
Sobra. Si Boom kasi may shinare siya sa kanyang Facebook page. Na shinare ko sa messenger mo, Je. And kay tribute to Karl Roy to eh. Si Karl Roy was ahead of his time. So ito sinabi niya about gender, about equality, about
Teka natin.
about
Okay,
society.
tingnan natin
Yan.
si... Teka. Wala nang... Ba't nawala yung sound?
Understood that it's kapatid.
Ayun,
It's
ayun.
in baybayin. Nathan and I researched on it, and we both said we've been through together in good and bad times. So we decided, like, why don't we get the same tattoo? We all are brothers and sisters. That's why we chose kapatid. It is genderless.
Photo, ano?
You could be my brother.
No,
Kahit
video
babae, lalaki. Sister, kapatid ko yan. Lalaki, kapatid ko yan. Kahit sino ka man, magkapatid tayong lahat. We fight just like in a family. We have sibling rivalries, squabbles, and all that. But at the end of the day, we still are siblings. Siblings. Underneath the sun, we all are siblings, regardless of gender, race, and prejudice.
My
Real
man.
talk, man. Real talk.
Alright.
This tattoo that we
And Carl was always just super cool, you know? Like he just was cool.
Parang, it's sobrang cool eh. If you see him.
I'm also friends with, shout out to Ariana, who's the daughter of Carl.
No.
She's a really good singer. You guys have to hear her sing. And Ariana, you have to come out with your music because I'm such a fan. And she's so good. Her uncle is Kevin. She's the daughter of Carl. And she has her own struggles now. She was also dabbling into whatever. But Ariana is she's now a mother and she's Carl's daughter. She's really you have to hear her sing. one
Ariana, mag-gig tayo kasama ni Tino.
time. Oh.
Gawa tayo ng
Or
event.
her own thing. She does a lot of stuff.
He's really...
Astig to si Carl, eh, no?
And si Carl, knowing him, he researches. As a fan of music, he is also like getting into a culture or even just not even music, just like we're talking about reggae or like patois, yung kind of like the culture of the language of the Jamaicans, like why he was the first guy to explain to me like I and I. It was like because in patois, like it's we're all equal. It's no you and I, it's I and I, and like stuff like that. You know, like I've always been fascinated with talking to Karl. You know, whether it was just bullshit or talking just random shit. I picked up stuff from him.
Kumbaga parang, unfortunately, Karl Roy passed before the boom ng podcasting eh. So
Yeah.
Could have been great.
How would he have
is great.
performed in the podcast? If you,
I feel like he wouldn't be the guy that would like, because he was just genuine that way. He wouldn't do shit just to make money and shit, or like do shit just because. Sometimes I feel like maybe he thought about it, but he would be the guy if anyone would just do things out of the pure avenue to do it, just the pure avenue to do, not the monetarily successful way to do things, or like the more viable way to do things in a
more
perspective.
mainstream.
Definitely, Karl was the guy that wouldn't do it that route just because he was a punk.
No, I meant
He was.
parang if
He had
you,
the attitude of punk.
what I meant is parang yung kasi
But malay mo, like,
we can, it's obvious na parang he's an artist, di ba?
Yeah.
He's a real artist.
Really.
And it's I'm curious if you could just pick his mind, not as the host, but as somebody na somebody talks to him and just pick his mind.
I wouldn't say like I could pick his mind, because like as you say, we weren't particularly super close. It's just that we were just friend. Like even JR was more close pa nga to Karl.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. Or there were many people that, but when he died, like there were a lot of people that had their own kind of stories to tell. About Karl.
Even my ex, dude, had her story to tell about Karl.
You want to talk about your ex?
No, I don't want to talk about Pero we can in the next episode. On the next episode.
Okay.
Kasi ex yun ni Nathan eh.
Oh, we're talking about the same girl.
Yeah, we're talking about the same girl.
I never knew.
Ex yun ni Nathan.
Shout
Anyway.
out to Nathan. Nathan's also
Nathan Nasircon, what
he's
up?
also a bike
Ay,
rider.
kilala mo si Nathan na
Oo naman, naging
Sabihin mo
kabanda
sa
ko
kanya, nag-send ako ng
talaga?
nag-send ako ng audition tape.
Para
Sa River Maya.
Oh,
Sa River
shit,
Maya.
talaga?
Hindi, pero I was just tripping. Kasi ang kwento doon is, nakita ko silang tumugtog doon sa Lenny Rallies.
Oo nga, ang galing.
And parang wala silang bokalista eh. Di ba? Sabi ko, baka kailangan nila ng bokalista.
Kaya nga.
Di ba? So sabi ko, plakado ko yung mga River Maya
Ako
yan.
din eh.
Pero sa dami ng...
But it's a good thing that Mark is playing the drums again. Because as a fan, I want to say, it wasn't really that cool like when Mark was the singer. I know that they had a contest going on and this guy won, diba? And he was the singer for a while. But then that only happens for so long. And no one will really accept it because I guess he didn't really earn it or something. I don't know. But it's only right that Nathan sings because he is a singer. He could sing. Iho, like that's all him. Except maybe he's not comfortable being a singer. But if anyone's gonna sing for River Maya without Rico or Bamboo, then it's Nathan.
Nathan, si Thundercat
Yeah.
nga
Man.
eh. Si Thundercat nga, di ba? Bahista yun.
Well, ang hassle kasi sa River Maya and Bamboo, the band, is Bamboo is such a good singer. Na parang it's so hard to match. Na parang, di ba, especially do sa Bamboo.
I used to say that
diba?
also, but I also believe in like they're two. I became a fan of like Rico Blanco being the singer only in later years. When I say later years, only like the past 10 years. Like when I've been listening to their shit, you know, like genius shit, you know what I mean? And like and I'm sure Nathan also not being a part of that band, playing their shit again, like not the shit that he wasn't a part of, like yung mga umaraw umulan, hindi na siya kasama dun eh. Pero like him playing that and learning to accept it as a whole body of work that River Maya as a name did.
Na-podcast mo kasi si
Perf.
Si Perf.
Ako
si Norby Davino na podcast.
Yeah. Speaking of Norby,
Norby.
rest in peace. His
Si
wife Kyla was my schoolmate.
Cuneta.
Kyla Cuneta, shout out to the Cuneta family. I mean, crush ko yun eh, si Kyla like in high school, and Norby was the guitar player, diba? Like,
And then naging vocal siya ng River Mino.
Yeah.
Karoon ng River Mino ng 3 vocalists.
My point is dun sa si Bamboo, yung mga kanta kasi ni Bamboo, lalo na dun sa Bamboo na band.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, it's very hard to pull off the feel na parang kailangan bambuhin mo yung atake dun sa mga kanta.
Yeah.
Diba?
And he's a particular singer that kind of has it's almost like I don't know where he got his styling, like
Yeah.
if it's Michael Jackson or like theater or something. But it's very like
The thing is, he can perform the same songs. Si Bamboo himself can go out and pick any other band
Yeah.
and then play the same song. Ang problema ni na Nathan, hindi niya kayang gawin yun.
Yeah.
Para they can't play
Frontman
the same song
guy, yeah.
and then wala si Bamboo.
and to get a guy
Yun ang hassle sa
that the people will
situation niya.
accept na
Diba?
parang like I mean as a fan like
Parang
hindi rin ako papayag kung parang like who's this guy?
Oo, di ba? Di ba?
Bahista yun eh.
No, I mean not Nathan but like the new singer like kung parang he has to live up
Dude,
to
same feel nung nakita ko na yung Imago, hindi na si Aya yung vocalist.
Oh.
Parang, sino ba tong babaeng batang to?
Oh nga.
Well,
I mean,
the thing kasi is, the fans would have to accept na that's the case. Hindi na talaga sila
yeah, just exactly like what the Foo Fighters going through now. Na it's a good thing they got their live drummer, si Josh Freese. Like if people don't know Josh Freese, he's the drummer of Perfect Circle, drummer of Devo, the drummer of Sublime and Rome, the new Sublime and Rome. I mean, more than 30 years of playing. No one could fill his shoes like no one could be the guy to fill Taylor Hawkins' shoes than Josh Freese. So parang as a fan of music, I was like, damn right, like it should be him.
Yeah. But sa boses kasi, medyo iba eh. Diba? Medyo
And being
iba
a frontman, diba?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's sometimes harder. Like, it's all up to you to, like, you speak for the whole band, you know, and all your actions kind of, like, you bring the band, you know what I mean?
I think the only solution to that is you need to at least match the feel and a little bit of the singing style nung original singer.
Yeah.
Like what they did with Journey, di ba?
Or like
Arnel
with
Pineda.
POT, it might be different with Red being the singer,
Yung
but
bagong vocalist.
but it gives a whole fresh. I'm a fan still. You know, I believe. Of course, it's not gonna be the same, but like it does justice to me. Like that he's the singer.
Have you seen Red?
He's
perform?
super great. Shout out,
Dude, pag nakita mo siya.
We have not met personally, but like his drummer, we jam in Catch sometimes, and I'm a fan, man. Like you know, as a rock singer. Speaking of Journey and shit, that's kind of like his bag. You know, like he knows how to. He's like Steven Tyler on stage, larger than life, just like Karl was.
Dude,
Diba?
mukha siyang si Karl Roy. Nakita mo yung...
In a way, but in a different way,
In a
not
in a different-
even trying to be Karl. So that's cool, diba? You know.
Yeah, in case of bands like Aerosmith, like Steven Tyler, parang sinasabi ko nga eh, if you're gonna join a singing contest, never sing an Aerosmith song. Kasi you will never ever match the and also
Diba?
Michael Jackson, Queen and Aerosmith.
Like, you know what I think? Like, see, what's his name? You know the Rockstar, the movie? Si Mark Wahlberg. It happened in real life with Arnel Pineda. Diba? Journey. Diba? He grew up listening to that shit and they found his videos and he became the singer of Journey. And then, sometimes, you could laugh at it, but then people don't laugh at it. You watch the live in Chile. I watched like 2010 or something. Or 2009. Journey in Chile or something. Tapos he's singing and all the people are like, oh, with their lighters. and shit.
Yes. Kasi they feel the same.
And then he
the
quit,
same-
diba? For a while, he's like, I'm gonna do my own shit. Diba? That's like,
And he never did.
And he came, whatever, he went back. Diba? But like, I guess like, they showed him like, wow, you get the... He was brought to the highest of
Naman.
touring status or something. I don't know. I never
Pero,
even know.
Anong tawag doon, dude? Bakit doon nag-work? Pero pag he went on his own, it didn't work.
No, I guess kasi it boils down to people were fans of him because they were looking for another. Who's the singer of Journey? The guy.
Steve Perry.
Steve Perry. They were looking for another Steve Perry, and he did fill the shoes.
Yes.
Steve Perry. He became
Because
the new Steve Perry.
because
diba? So they're fans of him being Steve Perry,
Just be Steve Perry.
and maybe he couldn't write music like Steve Perry. I'm not sure. Really,
it's
the
not
reason
it's not
why he wanted to quit. But
well-
maybe he wanted to be more creative, I guess, and make his own music, or maybe just touring. You never know until you're pushed into the shoes that he lived, you know. And I could never really. I'm far away from that shit, you know.
si Steve Perry
It's
kasi,
almost like Manny Pacquiao money. You know what I mean? That's like Journey.
si Steve Perry kasi is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Pero the songs itself are icons, 'di ba?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
song itself you need to replicate to
Do it justice, yeah.
Kasi if you're gonna
Make it your
watch
own, yeah.
if you're gonna watch a Journey concert and you have iconic masyado yung kanta niya eh.
Yeah.
Alam mo yung ramdam nung boses.
Not just that, but
Oh,
yung live
and
performance.
and also the emotion that you feel when you listen to the song, 'di ba? So if you cannot find it na yung at least a fraction of the song that you have in mind, then it's not gonna be effective, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Or at least not. Well,
This is fascinating, like how they fell in love with him being the singer, and like, you know, his story became their story. You know what I mean? Almost.
Yeah.
If you look back on the videos.
yeah. Well, and also, 'di ba? It's well, nag-ano naman siya, 'di ba?
So,
Sobrang yumaman na si.
Medyo may built siya na. Parang medyo macho din yung dating niya. Parang yung singer na.
Hindi.
Pero
ito,
inaapi siya ni Neil Sean, 'di ba? Nag-aaway sila eh, 'di
Dude,
ba?
wait, don't
I have
sila.
the same experience ito. May tropa ako. Shout out Jer Oka. Nasa
Jerry Oka ng Trop Dep. Tsaka ng
Nasa
Jerry
Tago
Oka
Jazz Bar
Experience.
kasi kami noon eh. Sinuporta ko ang aking good friend na si Jer Oka.
Jazzista ng mga don.
Doon sinasabi ko, kantahin niya yung payapaan eh. Doon nagagalit sa akin yung may-ari ng Tago eh.
Si Tago.
Kaya kantahin mo, JR. Kasama
Si
niya yung
Nelson.
kanyang banda. Si
Si
Nelson.
Nelson.
Right. Yun dapat kanta.
Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to Tago.
Sabi ni JR,
Hindi naman kasi
dapat-
jazz yun eh.
Hindi naman kasi jazz.
Pero
ang
malaba namin. Gusto namin ng Trop Dep
Oo,
eh.
gusto
Kapayapaan eh.
Sabi ko, dude, ito yung hinihingi ng tao. Kantahin niya.
Pip, pip, pip.
Kapayap. Sabi ni JR, ikaw talaga gawa ka talaga Chris Bang.
Gawak ng gamay.
Dude, sumisigaw na ako sa taas kasi yung bagong Tago may second level na eh. Sumisigaw ako sa taas.
And more power to Tago. If people don't know, like it got burned down, diba?
Oh,
Or
and
something,
it got renovated.
and that they're still pushing on more
Jazz.
power.
Hardcore jazz.
Nelson.
Teka, nawala yung ano natin.
Dun ba?
Nawala yung
And si
nawala yung
Je,
screen natin.
si Je, sobra siyang
Gusto ko yung background, outer space shit. I think.
Siguro kailangan na natin i-end tong video na to,
Oo
Je.
nga, oo nga. Nawala nga.
Kailangan na natin i-end
Bakit
to.
ganyan?
Ayan. Kailangan na natin. Medyo trippy na to.
Anyway, nawala ang ating camera. Tapusin na natin to.
Tapusin natin
Thank
to.
you.
Maraming salamat. Tino
Tino
Valentino.
Maraming salamat din sa show niyo. More power.
Okay, meron ba tayong next episode?
Next episode.
Okay, so
Eto, maglaho tayo sa gabi. Sa Kalawakan.
Yan mo ito.
Fun Kalawakan.
Support. Nawala rin yung camera
Wala
ko.
camera mo.
Reset, oh.
Teka. Balik natin yung camera ni Chris. Ay, hindi. Camera ko yan.
Nawala lahat ng mga camera natin.
Nagkalatsi-latsi.
Hindi ko namin alam kung ba't nangyari sinabotahe tayo ng
Ayan.
Tago Jazz Bar.
Kasalanan mo ito, Nelson.
Sinabi ko lang naman, Nelson, kantahin ang kapayapaan.
Pero yung yun ang paboritong bar ko talaga of anything. So wala akong nakitang
It's like a
tumugtog.
house.
Wala akong nakitang tumugtog sa Tago na hindi magaling.
Pero
Sobrang galing ng mga kumautugtog doon.
napuntahan mo na ba siya after pandemic?
Oo.
Hindi pa. I haven't gone to the new one.
Dude, ang ganda.
Napuntahan ko yung ano nangyari.
Sino pinanood mo doon, Je, sa Tago, yung after pandemic?
Nalimutan ko pangalan ng ano.
Basta ako, shoutout pa rin kay Marga J. What's up?
Yeah, Marga J. Speaking
J.
of Marga J, I'd like to thank Marga J. The times that I didn't have a band going on or whatever, she made me open for her in her she came out with a single. So thank you for always supporting.
And we can
And Wela also, like Chris told me that you were the one who kind of put the spot for me to play.
sa Libertad, Cafe Libertad.
Shout out to Dan Hill, my man.
Dan Hill. Okay. So we can end this. We
Thank
can
you.
end this na.
Umaayaw na ang ating...
Umayaw na.
ang
Okay.
ating camera.
We can
Thank
end this
you.
na, J-A-N mo na yan.
Paalam!
Paalam.
Sawsawan
Paalam.
Podcast. Tino Valentino, maraming salamat.
you.
Kalawakan na kami ngayon.
Salamat.
Kalawakan.
Salamat.
Kalawakan.
Ito na.
So sample natin, man.
Alright.